Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Andy Ruiz Jr., unified heavyweight champion. Ruiz Jr. stops Anthony Joshua, shocks the world, one of the biggest upsets in heavyweight boxing history. Ruiz was, for all money at the bookies, a massive underdog. 25 to 1, 30 to 1. It was shortening closer to the fight, but this was a nightmare fight for Anthony Joshua. Ruiz Jr. dropping Joshua, the former champion, 4 times in the fight. Incredible stuff, really is incredible. I was watching that in round 3, because this, the first couple of rounds, it was pretty circumspect stuff, as most of us were sort of thinking it might be that Joshua would have a bit of a feeling out process before starting to go to his work. But Andy Ruiz Jr., after being dropped in round 3, because this was the sort of where it kicked off and where the rot set in and Ruiz started to take ascendancy. So he hit the canvas, Joshua connected with a very good left hook, beats the count. He doesn't look too hurt. Obviously that was the first time he'd been down before. But in the next exchange where Joshua is looking to, take him out, he's smelling blood, Ruiz going for broke, catches Anthony Joshua with the left hook during a flurry. And Joshua is down and he looks hurt, badly hurt. Ruiz jumps straight back on him, unloads, a flurry of punches, right hand catches him, a number of punches caught him, and Joshua was down again. And I thought, I don't know if this is going any further. Joshua looked badly hurt, but it was towards the end of the round. He was able to recoup, get up, beat the count, and then go into, obviously, his corner as the bell rings. And it was a couple of strange rounds after that, because I thought that Ruiz, who obviously was looking to, get in there and catch Joshua if he could, he allowed Joshua to have a little bit of time to recover, but he was being patient. I thought, is this a wise move for Ruiz to let Joshua get his legs back under him? It was pretty circumspect stuff in round 4 and round 5. But also that could account for the fact that Ruiz may have been gassed a bit from some of the exchanges in round 3, because he was hurt, he was down, he was throwing a lot of punches. Round 6, Ruiz, this is when he started to take ascendancy again. He was looking very composed. He wasn't rushing his work, very patient. Whereas Anthony Joshua, in his corner between rounds, he was, he didn't know what he needed to do. He was asking Rob McCracken, what do I need to do? What's he going to do? What do I want to do? And Rob McCracken was, you need to be busy. You need to show some activity. Don't look for the hooks. And that was something that Joshua was looking for a lot, the left hook. And that's where he got in trouble earlier on with one of those times that he got dropped. Went for the left hook and then he got caught with Ruiz's right hand. And Ruiz, by the stage, Joshua obviously wary of his power. He wasn't throwing as much. Circumspect rounds 4 to 6. It was somewhat of a strange fight. 5 of the 6 rounds, pretty quiet overall, but that stunning round 3. And then into round 7, Joshua hit with a big right hand. Ruiz follows up, flurry of punches. He's down. Ruiz straight on him again, and Joshua beats the count, but then doesn't respond to the referee's instruction. The referee was asking him to do things, and he was just in the corner, hands, on the ropes, or gloves on the ropes, I should say, and it was waved off. And Joshua protesting immediately, but he wasn't responding. So I don't have an issue with the stoppage, because Joshua should have been responding to the referee, but incredible. Really was incredible stuff there. Andy Ruiz Jr. shocks the world. One of the biggest upsets ever. That was phenomenal stuff. And I know that there's going to be some haters who'll be pouring in to dump on Anthony Joshua here, but I think that would understate Ruiz's performance. He performed like a champion. He was patient, he did his thing, and his strategy to come in a bit heavier, to have as much mustard on his punches as possible, clearly it's paid off. Ruiz not necessarily noted as a massive puncher, but he came in here, he let his hands go, and his quick hands, that was something that was one of the defining features of this fight. Anthony Joshua was troubled by the speed, and especially when he was hurt on wobbly legs, that was really giving him a lot of trouble. And Ruiz capitalized on Joshua's mistakes, and he was able to get the job done. Anthony Joshua, former champion, Andy Ruiz Jr. pulling off a stunning upset. It's sort of hard to... It really was an incredible effort by Ruiz. And going into that fight, I didn't expect him to win. As I've said, he's a very good heavyweight, but I didn't think that he was going to, off the back of his inactivity and also some of his recent opponents and what Joshua has been doing in the division, I didn't expect him to win. So, I'll cop that. I was wrong. Andy Ruiz Jr. gets the job done. Ruiz Jr. all week has been talking about, he was going to leave it all in the ring. He was going to put it on Anthony Joshua and knock him out. And he did. He said that he was a bad style matchup for Anthony Joshua, and so it is proven. And it does make me think about missed opportunities where it comes to someone like Joseph Parker, similarly quick to Ruiz, where he fought a very cautious fight, largely on the back foot to some extent. Obviously, there was issues about inside fighting and the referee, but Joseph Parker, if he had let his hands go, would have he had more success? Ruiz left it all in the ring. He really did go for broke in that third round and wasn't able to stop Joshua then, but he got the job done later. Incredible performance, and man, this shakes up the heavyweight division, something chronic. The undisputed fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, up in smoke. Poof, it's gone for now. Joshua, no doubt, will take a rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. Because this was a voluntary challenge. Ruiz will have to face Joshua again to keep those belts. I would expect that they are going to be fighting again at some point. Will mandatory considerations come into this as well? Because the IBF mandatory has been waiting forever and a day. And this is the situation that Tyson Fury found himself back in at the end of 2015. He fought Vladimir Klitschko, but was bound to do a rematch. So the IBF stripped him because they wanted their mandatory challenger to get the shot. So, what happens now? But this is one of these things where it's kind of felt like there's an inevitability and a sameness about the heavyweight division. You've had these different fighters at the top sort of coming to some sort of inevitable conclusion with fighting each other eventually. And I've said, if you've followed this channel for any length of time, at some point, one of these three guys, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Anthony Joshua, was going to lose. Sooner or later, one of them would end up losing and the big money fights would go out the window. And it appears that in this case, Anthony Joshua is the one who's had the banana skin fight. This was Andy Ruiz Jr.'s Buster Douglas moment. He has proven himself to be an elite heavyweight. And given he's been so inactive, he's only fought, this was his fourth fight since the end of 2016. The resume wasn't exactly strong, but he's proven styles make fights, and his style was all right for him facing Anthony Joshua. For Joshua himself, didn't quite look comfortable in there, even early on in those feeling out rounds, didn't quite look himself, looked a little disinterested. I think some of that is to do with what Ruiz was doing. Maybe there was some sort of injury lingering in the background that we'll hear about subsequently. But Andy Ruiz Jr., have to commend his patience, have to commend, his strategy in here. There wasn't a whole lot of wasted energy from Ruiz Jr., He didn't get flustered, and when he was put under the hammer in round 3, he responded. The whole fight or flight thing, and, he traded with Joshua, dropped him, and that's really what turned the fight. That round 3 knockdown after he was knocked down, it was immediately after, and he almost had Joshua out of there in round 3. Incredible stuff by Andy Ruiz Jr. He is the unified champion of the world. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.